Right, folks, we're ready to go. We're here to pay tribute this evening to the first manager to win the championship both sides of the border. He's won 21 major honours, 12 in England. Here at Old Trafford, his record is phenomenal. 5 Premiership titles, 4 FA Cups, an unrivaled 2 doubles in 94 and 96, plus the first treble in the history of the game. In August, he was rightly knighted for his services to football. Please welcome the legend, the giant of Dublin, that is Sir Alex Ferguson!
Sir Alex Ferguson has certainly earned this moment. He's never forgotten his roots close by the Glasgow dockyards in Govan, and his own strong family values have been translated into a strict but fatherly approach to his extended family, the footballers under his control. Just to confirm for you, this is the starting 11 that he's putting out tonight against the rest of the world, and a very strong team it is too. And the rest of the world keeping Eric Cantona under wraps for the time being. A tremendous reception for Henrik Larsson, who scored for Sweden, for Sweden's benefit, but it also helped England on Saturday, of course. I think we can expect plenty of substitutions, and Benito Carboni in limbo somewhat at Sheffield Wednesday is going to get some football tonight, and Careca, the great Brazilian striker, 39 years old now, is here to play his part as well. And I'm disappointed George Best hasn't got the boots on.
I tried very hard, but I've been in bed with flu for 3 days. Only Sky could give me up for this.
Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us, George. And there will be plenty of presentations here. But I'm sure there'll be 90 minutes of football to enjoy. Perhaps not the tenacity of tackling from the real thing, but plenty of flair and some of a French nature. Alec has followed a well-trodden path of Scots who have come south, driven by purpose and ambition to prove themselves on a wider front. He has proved himself all over the world as a true master of management. All smiles tonight. The Ferguson temper is legendary, of course, amid football circles. There is talk of a mellower approach now, but I'm not so sure. His eyes were blazing at Stamford Bridge last Sunday, and that was before the game.
Yes, it wasn't a very good result. It might give him a little bit of a jolt, and all the talk that I think quite a few of the fans here tonight were wishing Schmeichel was back, and no one's been talking about getting him on loan, but we heard the reception he got.
Well, I suppose I've heard one or two gags today that Manchester United played the rest of the world at Stamford Bridge and lost 5-0.
they got slaughtered, but we'll put it right, don't worry.
So, a little later than scheduled is kick-off time at Old Trafford. The rest of the world in white shirts, with George Weah and Gianluca Vialli up front. And Alejandro Pistone, who's been rather out in the cold at Newcastle for a year or so, is in at left back. Rio Ferdinand in the centre of defence. Cafu, captain of Brazil, scored against Holland on Saturday. Here's Pistone, still bearing the 2 scars from the Rugby League Grand Final here over the weekend. Sylvester. Right, York has the prize number 7 shirt. From Philip Neville, who won his 20th cap for England as a substitute yesterday. York. Give up. With some space. And Deacons in the centre. Make the most of Sheringham's service from the left-hand side. George Weah, former World Player of the Year. Larson. Here's Giggs. Good sense that this packed Old Trafford crowd includes people who may not be able to watch the Premiership games on a regular basis. And they're going to make the most of this occasion themselves. This is Dario Marcolin, who played here for Blackburn Rovers and actually scored last season. He was on loan in England from Lazio. He's returned to Italy. But Neville waiting on the right-hand side. Berg, though, intervenes. The rest of the world team being controlled tonight by Otmar Hitzfeld. He must have thought he was going to be savouring some champagne from the European Cup with a couple of minutes to go in Barcelona. And he still managed plenty of smiles here tonight. And it's Raymond van der Houw in Manchester United's goal. Mark Bosnich named amongst the substitutes. Offside against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, trying to steal through the middle. Next month we'll see the completion of 13 Alex Ferguson years at Old Trafford. Certainly not an unlucky number for the man himself or for Manchester United. Sheringham. Solskjaer. Aribo West is the defender. I'm sure professional pride will dictate for Peter Schmeichel that he won't want to be beaten too often here. York. Nothing to the left, it's all through the centre where Giggs had found himself. Easy for Rio Ferdinand, who's feeling his way back to full fitness. And Paul Gascoigne on the move, motoring from midfield. Player who could have joined Manchester United in the late 80s, chose, and Alex Ferguson thought the deal was done to go to Tottenham. Sylvester. Certainly an encouraging moment for Gascoigne, who's serving a domestic suspension for that red card recently against Chelsea. So he's Glad to get some action in these circumstances. Neville, not too much of a hurry. Amazing family, the Nevilles. His brother Gary, of course, well known to you. His sister Tracy's just returned from New Zealand with a bronze medal in the World Netball Championships. West. And here's Larson. Cafu! To muscle Yapstam out of the way to restore some order in that Manchester United penalty area. Where? Vialli with him if he needs him, and George Way and Yapstam. Well, it's not that serious, but still no one's going to allow an attacker a free path to goal, and Yapstam bringing down the Liberian. Yonk is there, Gascoigne and Marcolin. It's Gascoigne into the wall. West. Now Larson. Who's had one or two beatings here since coming into English football with Sheffield Wednesday. Enjoys playing midfield, but he hopes he'll pass the ball better tonight than that. Where? Pistone on the gallop. And he might reach. There's not too many in the centre for the rest of the world. And Silvestre it away. Well, very much a Kenny Dalglish man at Newcastle, and since the departure of Kenny, Pistone's position at St James's Park has rather declined. George, how the players feel in these sort of games? There's an expectation of entertainment, there's professional pride, as I say.
Well, I think that's an important word, pride. I don't care who you are, you don't like losing, whether it's a testimonial or a championship game. But I must say, you know, we talked earlier about respect for Alex Ferguson. I think he's shown a lot of respect for the fans that have paid good money to come here. We know it's all going to charity, but the fact that he's put out such a strong side speaks volumes. It's terrific.
Where? Sure, there'll be one or two party pieces as well. But Gascoigne. And Luca Vialli, who has announced his retirement, of course. Very much the manager, not a player for Chelsea anymore. Although before the Manchester United match, with a lack of goals at Stamford Bridge, there were some calls in London for Vialli to reconsider his decision. I'll tell you, he's still very good for about 25 seconds. I think he's undervaluing himself. Where? Trying to get Larson away. But the rest of the world meeting the Manchester United team with, as I said at the start, a little bit of a purpose here. To just get back together again. So many have been on their travels, although Yapstam there pulled out of the match against Brazil for Holland. Didn't quite recover fitness quick enough for Mark Hughes, who is here tonight in Wales. And here's Rio Ferdinand. The defender always enjoys himself on the ball. Gascoigne. Where? All these rest of the world players attracted by the chance to play at Old Trafford. Markley. Cafu. scoring, trying to quicken it up to Weir. In goes a stamp. Bim Yonk. Larson. Now Weir. It's lovely play. Cafu. Vialli! Well, Gianluca Vialli, almost 3 years ago now, scored the winner here for Chelsea in a Premiership game at Old Trafford. Less serious circumstances tonight, but the goal-scoring touch, George, is still there.
Terrific. I mean, that's the one player that the Old Trafford faithful didn't want to see score. But I think maybe I could have knocked that in as well. But a lovely move, a terrific goal. Great ball inside the defender there.
And a perfect cross from Cafu. An invitation that Vialli was almost embarrassed to accept. He knows what the Manchester United feeling is about Chelsea at the moment. George Weir spotting the run of Cafu. First time really that the brilliant Brazilian right back, public address announcer, confirming the identity of the scorer to universal discredit, at least amongst the fans. The main man sees the humour in it. Certainly part of Alex Ferguson's makeup. He has to live with the resentment that goes with the near monopoly of Manchester United success in the 90s, and it's Vialli again. Looking to fill the centre. Marcolin was there, and Henrik Larsson was coming in. He only apologises for not quite getting the service right. York. Crowd loved the little flick in the middle of all that. There. Do better than that to beat his great ally for 8 years, Peter Schmeichel. George, you've got a lot of perspective about, we talk about greats for Manchester United. Would Peter Schmeichel be the greatest ever goalkeeper?
Well, you've got to look over the last 7-8 years. I mean, the trophies he's won, plus during the European Championship with Denmark as well, when they hadn't qualified properly, when Yugoslavia dropped out.
But came off the beach and won the pot.
Yeah, but you've got to say, I mean, when you talk about the great keepers and Banksy and Pat Jennings and people like that, he's got to rank up there amongst them.
Giggs. I was here the day Ryan Giggs came on for his debut back in 91, I think it was, and there was a sense of something very special to come. We'd heard all about him. Came on in a league match here against Everton very early, as I recall, as a substitute, and set standards even then. He's lived up to and beyond. There has been a lot of contributors, over 100 players Alex Ferguson's used in his almost 13 years in charge. He likes to have Gascoigne amongst them. Solskjaer. In from Ferdinand. Marcolin. Having a little bit of trouble here. Cole. Philip Neville. Giggs. Two options. Too long deciding which one to take. Cafu straying away from his right back berth. Someone's got to fill in there. Gascoigne is taking on the responsibility. Hopefully, perhaps for him, that Manchester United don't explore the space that's available behind him. An orthodox throw by Peter Schmeichel. Incidentally, you might have seen David Beckham warming up with the Manchester United players, not fit to be involved with England yesterday, but I think fit enough to maybe play a casual part later on. Walk-on part, I think. Wanting it and getting it. He's on the move. They got one or two on the right-hand side. Viali. Good-natured banter directed at the Chelsea manager. Waiting for Silvestre, who tried to set off. Henrik Larsson was covering that run. Stoney with the interception. And Weah with a chance to get it to the feet of Viali. He's done that. Larsson there to support. Playing well, George, to the rest of the world.
Tell you what, looking there, we talked about pride earlier, didn't we? So I think Man United, a little bit of pride might come into it, but the rest of the world are knocking about. So in still be to see players, you just have one touch that you need. You don't have to over-elaborate. That's a sign of good players.
York. Now Cole. Working with Philip Neville again. York. He's helped Norway qualify by right for the Euro 2000 finals. That was a score for them at the weekend. Good cross here. And Karibo West heads straight down only as far as Andy Cole. Not made tackle and couldn't quite put it into the stride of Teddy Sheringham at the end. More crowd-pleasing stuff, this time from Manchester United. But giving it away, and George Weah tries from Beckham-like range, seeing Raymond van der Gaal off his line. Apart from being very successful, Alex Ferguson teams, of course, they've played with a wonderful swagger as well.
They do. It comes from winning everything, doesn't it? They actually play a little bit like we used to, knock it about. It's like 5-7 aside sometimes, and that's obviously what they do in training. The great Liverpool sides did that as well. Just one-touch football, and it's great to see.
Gascoigne. The Dutchman, Jonk. Gascoigne. Tim Jonk again, who's always been a very talented passer of the ball. Might come off back to Viali. Now Solskjaer. Working the wide positions tonight. Well, Steve McLaren at last experienced what it was like to lose a league game as the assistant to Alex Ferguson. Remember, he came in February from Derby County. They were unbeaten in the league, in fact, since previous December, until what happened at Stamford Bridge. The manager of the last club to win a league game here at Old Trafford against Manchester United is here tonight, a certain Brian Robson. We'll see a little bit of him later. beyond Taribo West. Not past Cafu. Larson, Cafu is on the move down the right-hand side. Henrik Larsson cutting it fast through Manchester United. Vialli backing up the play behind Cafu. Crossing. That's out by Berg's head. Yonk to Gascoigne. Cafu. Man who was born on the day that England played Brazil in the 1970 World Cup, one of the classic encounters. And he said subsequently that sort of date, which is emblazoned in Brazilian football history, wasn't the moment that he would make the grade in football. Solskjaer. Here's Larson. Yonk. Back to Philip Neville. Quite clicked into gear, Manchester United so far. I mentioned the charities Sir Alex Ferguson is supporting. There's the Street to Stadium Trust. That is the official charity of his testimonial year, set up to encourage young people to take part in sport on a regular basis, to give opportunities in sport to disadvantaged children. On the touchline, and maybe Eric Cantona's arrival in the game will be soon forthcoming. Another charity as well, the Elizabeth Hardy Ferguson Trust, which is named in honour of Sir Alex's late mother. Both those organisations will benefit hugely from this testimonial year. Giggs. Larson. Not allowing the cross to come in. Very professional, these Swedes. Thankfully. Poland found out. Sizing up the situation of the corner. Manchester United tonight a goal down to Gianluca Vialli. Where? Vialli. Back to George Weah again. Cafu still lurking on the right, but he looks the other way. George Weah, from being a world player of the year, as I mentioned earlier, former European footballer of the year, African footballer of the year. A muscular striker who has made a major impact on the international stage. Here he is. And he fizzed that one past Raymond van der Houw and just past the post.
Terrific, Evan. What a good player he is. Isn't it lovely to see as well? He picks up the ball. The only thing he thinks about is goal. he's either taking players on or he's shooting from all angles. We saw him earlier that he won from about 40 yards, didn't he? He looks terrific, apart from the white boots.
One or two in your day had white boots, I remember.
I had purple ones. Worse.
Worth something now, George. Here's the other George. George Weah. That's very circumspect with his challenge tonight for sort of the tackling that Buck has made his name for. Larson, Marcolin, progress from the rest of the world. First time away by Berg. Dwight York taking an extra touch or two in his own penalty area. Somewhat suicidal approach from Manchester United for a moment or two, but they've survived that. The ball on here for Sheringham, who saw the space away from Taribo West. Neville, Stam. Sheringham. Sheringham, I suppose, was itemised as the man to replace Cantona. And the Frenchman suddenly announced his retirement. Similar style of play. Neville's cross. Catching practice for Peter Schmeichel, who has moved to Portugal to play for Sporting. He's taken his tally of caps for Denmark to 116 now. Yonk's pass for Henrik Larsson. It rolls beyond Raymond van der Hauwen, beyond the post as well. George, what's your thought on this Manchester United goalkeeping situation at the moment? Raymond van der Hauwen has a lot of admirers.
Well, personally, I think at the moment that you're talking about a choice of three, I actually think, from what I've seen, that he's the best goalkeeper. And I don't know. We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. It's a little bit weird to say the least. But for me, he's the best.
Oh, Schmeichel's come out. There's a duel on here with Dwight York, who brings him down. And Mike Riley, the referee, arrives with a smile almost as wide as York's legendary grin. On up to Schmeichel. If he'd have got it wrong, the Great Dane, it could have been 1-1 on the scoreline. Denmark, of course, are in the playoffs. Draw involving England, Scotland and the Republic of Ireland as well on Wednesday. Cafu, a look for here. Maybe to the back of the net, even the acutest of angles doesn't deter Brazilians. Short to Philip Neville. Sheringham. Sylvester on the move down the left. Here's a chance maybe for Manchester United. Sylvester's cross. And Taribo West defending very capably. Who's been linked in the past with moves to England, never quite happened. Certainly one of the most recognisable men on the international scene in Nigeria. Again. Well, some very extravagant limbering up going on for Eric Cantona. Attracting almost as much attention as the match. Ricky Buck. That took out Rio Ferdinand in confusion between Italian and Dane, Pistone and Schmeichel. Manchester United have a corner. Another cross from Butt, though.
I think Teddy thought about bringing it down here. I think it might have been a better choice. Chelsea not having a goal in the final.
Very good humoured reaction by Peter Schmeichel by his standards. Here's Giggs. Pistone who conceded the corner, helping the rest of the world 11 defend it. Yonk. Cafu, shall we say, has license to roam. Ferdinand looking across rather alarmingly at the space to his right, to the Manchester United left. Was absent. Here's Cole. Cole trying to prevent the corner. Has he done that? Looking across at the linesman. No flag. 398 games he played for Manchester United, Peter Schmeichel. And finished in truly the grand manner as the captain in Barcelona against Bayern Munich. Ali's pass to George Weah. Through to Markley. Stoney on the outside, but the chance. Oh, Ali. I think scoring twice against Manchester United.
He wouldn't dare. Still a triple player.
Fignon, and it's David Weir of Everton and Scotland.
And coming off number 10,
It's on quickly, leaving the entrance now that the crowd really have come here in their thousands to see. Eric Cantona is back at Old Trafford. Meanwhile, Solskjaer and a free kick. And the tempo around the ground has lifted considerably. Cantona has been back once before for the Munich Memorial match. That's the shot by Cole. That was some 14 months ago when he played a half for representative 11.5 for Manchester United. Irwin just back from Macedonia to replace Henningberg here. What a sympathy for the Republic of Ireland, George, and missing out or having to go into the playoffs because of that late equaliser that Dennis and company conceded.
Yeah, so close, weren't they? Mick McCarthy's done a great job there, and they've been very, very disappointed. But they're a good side. They've still got a great chance of qualifying.
Every contribution will be cheered to the rafters here. Gascoigne. He's got maybe a soulmate to work with now. Larson. Cantona on the move. Sheringham. I remember a lot of Eric Cantona's football matches, but I can't recall too many of the movies George has made since he gave up playing the beautiful game.
Nobody can remember any of them.
Sheringham. Solskjaer. Cross. The shot in. A decisive clearance in the first place by Rio Ferdinand. Ryan Giggs has been given 35 minutes here to ease himself back into action. And that smile suggests that that 35 minutes has gone okay. And Jordi Cruyff comes on in Giggs' place. Manchester United are still a goal behind, 10 minutes before half-time. To add to their problems. And And often you hear a sense of disappointment here at Old Trafford when a Manchester United defender stops an opponent in his tracks. But there was one there. Everyone wants to see Cantona score. Bowled out by Van der Hausch, Schmeichel style. Sheringham, York involved as well. Here's Owen. United corner. Dennis Owen's come a long way with Alex Ferguson through the 90s. Player who once was given a free transfer by Leeds, went to Oldham. And ended up playing in an FA Cup semi-final, an epic against United, the year Alex Ferguson got his first trophy, that FA Cup replay win against Crystal Palace. It really set the ball rolling. Setting the ball rolling here with the corner. Give to somebody, and it's a beautifully judged pass to Gascoigne. He wanted a quicker response to Dougie for that, and Gascoigne finds Cantona. He's not been total match shape, Eric, but he just has to turn up here to fill the place. Solskjaer. Pistone. What's going to happen to Alessandro Pistone? Presumably seeing out his contract at Newcastle. I'm sure it's a lucrative one, but it seems a waste of an Italian player who came into the English game with a great reputation. Cafu. Fair to make comparisons, Alex Ferguson with Cantona and you and Sir Matt as the enfant terribles.
yeah, I think, as Alex said, Sir Matt kept looking for me a few times and talked me into coming back. It'd just be interesting, Martin, if the rest of the world get a penalty, who do you think will take it?
You need to get a bet on, could you? On a serious note, the style of management that Alex Ferguson exhibited in the Cantona crisis, and it was a crisis, incident went beyond the sport itself. A shameful night at Selhurst Park. Eric bounced back brilliantly and wrote what he called for us on Sky Sports the perfect story the following season. One of the great comebacks to not just play but guide Manchester United to the second of the three doubles, domestic doubles, the league and FA Cup under Alex Ferguson. Solskjaer and Jordi Cruyff able to make too much of the deep ball. Paul, just to remind you what's coming up on Sky Sports 2, Birmingham against Newcastle from the Worthington Cup. Games that must be played to a finish, and Southampton-Liverpool, what an attractive tie that looks. That's on Wednesday at 7:30, again on Sky Sports 2. We've got Weir and Weir now. Test the enunciation. Gascoigne. And Cantona, but anticipated by York. Solskjaer. Cruyff. And York. Sheringham. Turning away to safety. Taribo West, who plays with Nigeria in the World Cup finals in France. Who, of course, played in the final itself for the second time in his career. Marcolin. Weir. Cantona again. So not giving him a free passage. Weah, Marcolin, Eric Cantona going to change pace, not exactly a sprint into the penalty area. He was in a hurry. Weah. A bit more practice required, understanding. The World 11, it was very difficult for Alex Ferguson and his organisers to get players this particular evening. So much going on in international football with the countries and clubs. It has been good and the display has been very competitive. Now they've got Solskjaer's pass to deal with and Ricky Butt looking to try and steer it in more with the side of the foot from just outside the penalty area. No one yet amongst the present Manchester United crop has got the satisfaction of scoring a goal past Peter Schmeichel. Gascoigne has changed sides. Well, that's helped Manchester United. The Clown Prince. Ball. You do wonder what would have happened to him, George, if he had chosen Manchester United and not Tottenham then.
Yeah, it would have been interesting, wouldn't it? I mean, and again, you heard from the reception what people think of him. He's had a few problems on and off the pitch, but people love talent, and it's right here, a tremendous reception when he came on.
With England playing Belgium yesterday, we recalled the fact that Belgium was his last game. Pass for David Weah. Sad departure from the group of players not selected for the World Cup finals in France. Paul Gascoigne, the day after. He played the previous time England played Belgium. Right, a couple of minutes to go to half-time. Don't think there'll be too much stoppage time. Don't think Alex Ferguson will have to get the watch out. But we'd like to see an equaliser before half-time. And he has seen it from Teddy Sheringham. That's what it means to get one over the great goalkeeper. George Best.
Well, I think that's what we needed just before half-time. It was very, very interesting. Great cross, and Teddy's already had a couple of half chances, but got in there, hit his defender, and stuck it past poor old Schmeichel. Schmeichel will not be happy, even though it's a friendly game. He looks happy enough, doesn't he?
It was a very typical Teddy Sheringham goal. First touch. Always been of a high order. And Cantona crafts a brilliant pass that is not going to lead to George Weah going in because the offside flag went up. Mike Riley brings the first half to a slightly premature close, and the crowd show their appreciation. Manchester United took 43 minutes to get the better of Peter Schmeichel. Teddy Sheringham finally got tonight's United side off the mark for Sir Alex after they had trailed to a beautifully worked goal for the rest of the world, scored by Gianluca Vialli. Plenty more to come tonight. And we reach half-time in the match. Manchester United 1, the rest of the world 1.
Two forces of equal measure. Prince Nassim, Cesar Soto. In a unification fight live from Detroit City, Nasli Soto coming soon on Sky Box Office. Book now for the early price of $11.95. Call 0990 800 777. Cable customers contact your local operator.
Learn to control the game. Possess the ball come un diavolo, like a devil. Work in smaller spaces, use a smaller ball. Smaller spaces, smaller ball. Smaller spaces, smaller ball. 5 decimi un quarto, 5 decimi e 3 quarti. The ball is like a lover. You must never cheat on her.
Harry?
Yes? You've been using the internet at peak rate.
And you run up this enormous phone bill.
And this will have to go towards paying for it.
And this.
And this.
And this.
No. No. Harry?
Adrento ran up this huge peak rate phone bill.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Look.
Now, with AOL, it's off-peak all the time, so it's never more than a penny a minute, whatever the time.
So it's cheap rate now?
Yes, and it'll still be cheap rate in the morning.
Night, Johnny.
Night.
It's all part of the service at AOL.
Easy, Tiger. Here. Have your pint back.
Get it on, you cheeky cow. And you lot can clear off and all.
The official Manchester United champions of Europe on video includes the road to Barcelona, behind-the-scenes footage never seen before, and all those celebrations. Everything their hearts desired. Manchester United champions of Europe. History on video. Out now.
If you spend 10 hours on free serve at peak time, the call charges will be up to £24. The same 10 hours on AOL costs a lot less. In fact, for a limited time, it will cost you nothing. Zero zilch.
AOL's completely free trial offer. Look out for this pack.
Now that's free.
Yeah, I found out something really interesting.
She goes jogging every morning at 8 a.m.
The hamburgers have got to go. She's a vegetarian.
She's just bought a load of poetry books.
More to save, and you pay as you go from 1 to 1.
Coming up on Tuesday morning, a bonus for Sky Digital viewers as we continue our live and exclusive coverage of the first test between India and New Zealand. 3 tests and 5 one-day internationals coming up for you. Day 3 of the first test is live from 5:30 tomorrow morning with extended highlights from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, only on the new Sky Digital channel, Sky Sports Extra. And we're here at Old Trafford for Manchester United versus the rest of the world, and superb aerial pictures being brought to you by our very own airship, our very own Charlie Nicholas and Howard Wilkinson are with us in the studio. It's 1-1. Now, he was a brave man, Viali, coming up here at all, I think, after a 5-0 demolition the other day. He's a brave man to go and score the goal as well, isn't he?
He most certainly was. He looked ever so sharp, I have to say. I thought up front, the rest of the world started the game very well. Larson, Cafu, very attacking full-back. Lovely, I mean, that they can open up United. Very few teams in the country can do this. Lovely nutmeg from Larson. Little 1-2 away. And the best players in the world can make the final pass tell. And Viala was grateful. So he's done it to United again, hasn't he?
The rest of the world seemed a little happier, or seemed a little happier to start with anyway.
I think they're very pleasantly surprised at Dwight York in midfield, and after that goal, I think that might be Dwight's last appearance in midfield. Well, after that goal, and then he's attempted 1-2 in the 6-yard box there later on. I don't think Dwight will be back there at the weekend now.
I'm sure he's being reminded at this very moment.
Yeah.
Now, Teddy Sheringham scored the equaliser, and this is a man, I think, who pays dividends as far as Alex Ferguson is concerned, because the man on the terraces was quick to say he wasn't a fitting substitute for Eric Cantona, but he's proved them wrong.
Yeah, I don't think Alex brought him as a substitute. He brought him as a good player, and I think that's typical of Teddy. I'm a great admirer of him. Wherever the ball's wide or around the box, he's always there, and he's a terrific one-touch finisher. He's been waiting to do that all season.
Yeah. It's a similar move, wasn't it, from the rest of those goals? That final pass, give the good players good service and he'll score goals.
A good-natured cuddle there for Peter Schmeichel, who's taken almost trying to supersede.
I'm very surprised. Normally you see Schmeichel in the pass, the finger goes up and he tells his defenders what he thinks of them, but on this occasion I think he's quite content.
He's enjoying himself tonight, isn't he?
He most certainly is. I think he's been the guy. It's been a bit flat, like most testimonials can be. It gets a bit flat, it's a bit showy and exhibition-y, but he's been the guy who tries to spur them on. As you said, Matt, before they turned up, Howard, you know, he was getting applauded, and now he's even diving. I thought he deserved a yellow card for that.
Here's the handball. Here's the handball, straight out the handball manual.
Great pass, this.
A terrific pass. And then he has a go at, I think it was Andy Cole saying that's how you should pass the ball. He's a terrific footballer.
He looks like he may have been a loss as an outfield player. He doesn't look too bad on the pitch.
I always say the great ones could play anywhere. And I certainly think he could have gone out there and coached. He's a terrific footballer.
All right, plenty of entertainment. Thanks for your company. Plenty more to come, of course. The second half of Manchester United versus the rest of the world is coming up right after this break.
Here in Kyoto, they make some of the world's finest hi-fi. Excuse me, is this the CD player returned by those designers in Germany?
Yes. They said they want CD player with very smooth eject mechanism.
The way it opens and closes?
Exactly. But they not even play music on it. I don't know why they want it.
Oh, they spilled coffee on it!
Guess you thought being a spy would make a smooth new app for John Smith. Our man couldn't wait to show off his gadgets and foolproof disguises. But he soon found that being a secret agent is not all it's cracked up to be, especially if the mission involves losing a loyal friend. He knows now you don't need any undercover nonsense to sell John Smiths. Just a good look at the pint that is pure silk in a glass. Like this.
Don't miss the savings in JJB's sweatshirt sale. And don't miss out on the Nike Components Plus sweatshirt, down £10 to a fantastic $19.99. Adidas brand XT logo sweatshirt, save £10. Reebok large logo sweatshirt, an incredible $19.99. The Diadora Polar Fleece, a great winter warmer at $19.99. Great savings on sweatshirts, all at $19.99 and available now at JJB, your family sports stores.
Ready? Smile.
Getting together is always rewarding. Even more so if you join New BT together. You get up to 3 hours of inclusive call time every month. Simpler, lower prices. And half-price additional line connection. All of this all in one for just $11.99 a month, including your line rental.
And give my regard to your alien friend. Such a vivid imagination.
Get BT together. Call 0800 055555 and stay in touch.
Italian style.
Hold up, lads. I've got an idea. Get those motors up here now! Come on, come on! Got an idea.
Italian drink, British bottle. V2 vodka martini.
With open interactive TVs, you can shop, and we can drop to your door.
When battle strikes continue,
back in the woods, the temperature has dropped and a storm is brewing.
The weak get weaker.
I've got one with a testicular injury.
What injury?
Testicular.
Oh, right. While the strong get drenched.
We're very cold. It's very wet.
This is sausage and beans. Staple diet.
Get up here! Get a move on that hook!
Then gang war in gun law.
I've watched Fear My Mate's Die.
2 new documentary series, Tuesday from 9, Sky 1.
Great football coming your way this week on Sky Sports. It's Birmingham City versus Newcastle in the third round of the Worthington Cup on Tuesday at 7:30. That's on Sky Sports 2. Same competition, same round on Wednesday at 7:30. Southampton host Liverpool again on Sky Sports 2. And our Spanish football on Wednesday at 7:30 is on Sky Sports Extra. Bit of a humdinger between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Here at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, the rest of the world 1. Plenty of great stars on show, it goes without saying.
Yep.
Plenty on the United side as well. Ryan Giggs, back in action, did 35 minutes, did okay.
Did okay. I think it was just about giving another opportunity to, get that hamstring problem behind him. He seems to always be picking up hamstring injuries these days, and I think it's important to just bed him back in. He's such an important part of the balance of United. Lovely back healer, good skill from Coley. And this is what he's so dynamic at. Maybe that's his little area where he can improve still at, 24, 25, he can still improve in that. But it's good to see Giggs back.
He's back, but for how long? I mean, the question marks about his fitness generally, Howard?
Well, the last 3 or 4 years he's had a very on-off time, hasn't he? And in particular, as Charlie said, hamstrings have been a problem, which must have been, despite the success, a big worry to Alex, because that left side, when you think of the people he's brought in, he often finishes up playing Solskjaer out there, preferring him to the likes of Jordi Cruyff. So he'll be pleased that he's got that under his belt, and I would think they're looking at something in the week against Aston Villa.
Ryan would be one of Sir Alex's first picks on any team sheet, but there are plenty who get into other teams who have to wait around. Now, is that a testament to Sir Alex, or just the fact that they're playing for Manchester United?
No, I think that's what Alex has really built at this club. I don't see too many players rushing to get out the door. Solskjaer had his opportunity that clubs have shown interest, didn't particularly tempt him away. I think it's always been the base. They're not the highest paying club, Manchester United, we know that. I mean, I think Dwight York probably came from Aston Villa and took a cut in wages. It's the prestige of playing here, and they all fight for the positions, and I think what Alex has done over the last 2 or 3 years, more impressively, is give them all a balance and a taste, and what that does is get more desire within the camp. And I think that's shown, even again tonight. They've got pride in the second half. I still think that they'll press, will step up the pace a little.
So Alex, I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to play for him. I don't think I'm ever going to get to that grade somehow. But I mean, does he do it with a rod of iron, the discipline thing, or is that just something that we believe in the press?
I think when he has to, there's no doubt that he can put his foot down. But I think the big thing about Alex is his obsession with winning and the lengths he'll go to make sure that they do win, whether it's dealing with players, enforcing the rules he wants enforced on or off the pitch, or just pursuing a player, or just turning up at training early because he wants plenty of time to deal with the problems he's got. He's got an obsession with winning.
Well, we saw from the shots in the first half that he's determined to win this one. That remains to be seen. But we can rejoin our commentators now, George Best and Martin Tyler. Martin has news of some changes.
That's right, Matt. The rest of the world are going to make some alterations, in particular in the second half. I think one has changed for Manchester United as well. Mark Bosnich is not coming on, but he's there if required. But before I give you the news of the changes, we can hear from Sir Alex Ferguson himself. He's with Nick Collins.
Yes. Alex, just very quickly, your thoughts at the halfway stage?
Well, two great goals. I thought that the first goal that Jay Lucas scored was a marvellous goal, good build-up. And we've got a good one back, so hope there's more goals.
Dennis Sheringham joined his celebration, jumping onto Peter Schmeichel's back. That was a nice moment.
As a reminder of the cup final, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Enjoy the second half. Thank you.
Just looking around the Manchester United lineup, and John Curtis, wearing number 17, is on in place of, it looks like, Jaap Stam at the back. And there's an interesting change in goal for the rest of the world. Peter Schmeichel has gone off, but I don't think we've seen the last of him this evening. But Pascal Olmeita has come on in goal for the rest of the world. Now, he's made himself a little bit of a reputation in the Manchester area because he played in that Munich match that we were talking about earlier and took free kicks and generally entertained the crowd in such a way that people have been asking us, is he involved tonight? Well, he certainly is, and that's all part of this gathering in honour of Sir Alex Ferguson. Is it an obsession that he's got with winning football matches? Is that the word you would use, George?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, though. My dear old dad and I have so many arguments over Sir Alex, and he says exactly the same. He's obsessed with winning, and I keep telling him that's what it's all about. That's why we're in the business.
This is 38-year-old Pascal Olmeita, who played in a European Cup final for Marseille in 1991. And he travels around now with Eric Cantona. They're great mates from their days together in the south of France. And he might bring one or two moments that you'll remember over the next half an hour or so. And I would just point out for all Manchester United fans, stay watching because there are all sorts of surprises to come in this second half, particularly to appeal to your sense of nostalgia. For the moment, it's Manchester United 1, the rest of the world 1. Other changes for the rest of the world. The captain of Israel, Eric Bernardo, is on at the back, and Guerino Gottardi from Lazio. Cafu has gone off. Here's Sheriff. Comes out for Butt to strike one. Benito Cavani is also with us, the player who's in dispute, it seems, with Sheffield Wednesday now, and talk about a full move maybe to Derby, then to Aston Villa, or really he wants to go back to Italy. Well, for the moment he's here at Old Trafford tonight wearing number 18. There he is. produce yet another own goal to add to the long list we've seen this season, Sylvester. See the funny side of it in the end. Gascoigne. Just gone up against Carbone. Right. For Manchester United, Nicky Butt's cross. He, of course, is going to miss on football over the next few weeks because of the red card that he received at Chelsea. And only applies suspension to domestic matches, of course. Manchester United halfway through their Champions League first phase. Raymond van der Hauwe, very involved in that competition, but not recently in the Premiership matches. Massimo Taibi had a rather checkered start. Christ. Trying to get Philip Neville down the left-hand side. Carbone. York. Old pressed back by Marcolin. Now York. Well, it remains serious, if a little low-key. The football has just one moment from Gascoigne when he apparently changed sides before the end of the first half. It hasn't degenerated to knockabout stuff. Moment to encourage the crowd there from Dwight York. Is the Brazilian striker Careca, who played almost 70 times for his country. But Sheringham comes out to Philip Neville. Christ. Manchester United hoping to give their manager cause for pleasure in this second half. Got a scuttle back now to defend against Benito Carbone. One available again. George Weah has given every indication of enjoying his game here at Old Trafford tonight. Here's Butt. To his right in Manchester United red, but they're all in a straight line across the pitch. One misplaced pass took them all out of the play, and it's Weah. With Larson coming in from the left-hand side. Curtis made the first interception. And here's Careca. Well, he's almost 40 years old now. Won the championship in Italy with Napoli. Player in his prime, George.
Oh, brilliant, yeah, really terrific, and still looks sharp for his age. But Charlie Nicholas said at half-time, he had to step up the tempo, and I think, again, we talked about pride. I think you can see that extra little step from both sides. Looking, they want to win.
Larson. Back to West. Tardy and Bernardo. Israel also in the playoffs. Might see something of him, Alex Bernardo. Three countries, England, Scotland or the Republic of Ireland, end up with Israel in their playoff pairing. They completed the set yesterday evening, 10th of 8. Football, club level and internationally, is developing at a quick pace. Christ never really established himself as a regular first teamer here, but now Solskjaer joining Sheringham in the centre. Desire not to let anything slip that's present in the vast majority of top-flight professionals surfacing. There's been a real proliferation of goalmouth incident. And here's Weah. Switched off George Weah for a Manchester United throw. John Curtis, one of the younger players, show a lot of patience to wait for their opportunity to play more regularly for Manchester United. Always seems to be destined for the top as an England schoolboy captain. Even Philip Neville, an England international, not guaranteed a regular game in the back line for Alex Ferguson. Went for the return pass, it didn't get it. Carbone. Weir as well forward. Carbone used him as a decoy. And then York took the ball from Nicky Butt. And straight into Sheribo West. Gascoigne. Carbone and Kareka, there's no flag, and there is a second goal for the rest of the world. He hasn't lost his touch when the chance materialises, and Kareka makes it Manchester United 1, the rest of the world 2. George.
Yeah, terrific finish. I mean, you don't play for the greatest team in the world 70 times and become finished. And he's made it look easy, hasn't he?
Well, he had a 12-year international career. And he's certainly remembered in Europe from his club football with Napoli, in tandem with Maradona for a while. Scholes has come on for Manchester United while we were looking at the replays of that goal. Cole, drop for Cruyff, does so for Philip Neville. Another very assured touch from Kareka. With Carbone, who played him through for the goal. Tony Wilson, we understand, is here tonight. The man who's involved in this battle of wills with Benito Carbone. Sheringham's offside. And here is Pascal Olmaker. Gascoigne, almost left with egg on their faces, the rest of the world then, but Olmaker's back. cursing that the move broke down. The real showman. Towards Ware. And Carboni's offside. It was stopped by Raymond van der Houw. It wouldn't have counted.
Attention please, your message for Mr. David Parch from Hesford Bank. Mr. David Parch from Hesford Bank.
Goals. Trying to emulate David Beckham. But the crowd who remember Pascal Olmater, and there are many of them here from the match 14 months ago, looking to get their ball on a more regular basis. Got it again. No language barriers. Gascoigne. Burnett. Tardy, and Curtis has got to be quick. He's played it against Kareka. York. To play it wide either side. Out the support Castle, Manchester United then. Only finds for Carbone. Baker. And Curtis has only given a chance for Henrik Larsson to curl one. Scored so many spectacular goals for Celtic. And the international goal against Poland, the 10th for his country, and 46 internationals. Kareka, Carbone, same combination. And the party pooper there was Philip Neville. Gascoigne gets the better of Scholes. Philip Neville, one-man defence at the moment for Manchester United. George, you're very close to things here. What's realistic for Manchester United from the forthcoming months in defence of the treble? We know he'd like to win them all and more.
Well, I mean, everyone said, how do you follow it? But they're still the side I think everyone's got to beat. And of course, the big talking point is the FA Cup. They've dropped out of, and I think everyone would like to see them in it. But Alex Ferguson, he just thinks, I want to win every game. You want to win this as well, and just keep plugging away.
Yes, I hope we haven't heard a lot about FA Cup supposed exit. There are politicians wanting to change things. Manchester United seem adamant that they won't take part. If they go out of the League Cup, which they don't take seriously, away to Aston Villa on Wednesday night. Cole. Sheringham. Here comes Paul Scholes. Oh, the goalkeeper got a touch. It was fiercely hit by Scholes. Goalkeeper Olmater. And a real character. They've always been crazy, haven't they?
You've got to be the big goalkeeper, haven't you? But that was a terrific save.
York. Sheringham. Stop from Dennis Irwin. One of the moments of the night so far. Picked his spot, did Irwin. He didn't find it. Goal struggles with the corner goalkeeper. Not such an impressive show of judgment there. And it's Price. Come off the defender because it's another corner. Fun and games in the rest of the world penalty area. Miscalculation at the corner then. Partly overhit by Scholes. Brought out at pace by Ware. The rest of the world has got 5 men forward here. Sartadi with the cross. And the Brazilian attempt at the near post by Careca. Cole. An offside trap in use here. It's a bit mean, isn't it?
Yes, I thought Lagman might have let that go. But this kicker's nuts, isn't he, in a nice way. 2 terrific saves in the space of 30 seconds. Brilliant.
Well, you can see why they wanted a return booking for him. Cassiano is the serious actor. It's a light entertainment. Pascal Olmega never played for France at full international level, but played a lot of First Division football as a goalkeeper, not as a centre forward, where he is at the moment. Chance on for Manchester United. Taribo West has gone back on the line. What's Scholes going to try? He gives it to Sheringham. He wants a goal, like all good strikers should, really, but Taribo West on sentry duty by the post and popping a bit. Old Mesa is almost back. Great entertainment at Old Trafford tonight.
I think that might be the last of his runs, but he just shattered.
Gascoigne. Carbone. Gascoigne once more. Careca. Carbone. Careca was looking for Ware, but Butt stood between the two of them. Manchester United, not that it matters a great deal except to their pride. 2-1 down, 20 minutes into the second half. Christ. The pass came inside Gotardi. Marceline getting back, Sheringham trying to find Scholes, but Henrik Larsson read the danger signs. From David Weir, forward by Marceline. Careca with another attempted flicked pass. Maybe Mesa can get things going again for the rest of the world, and indeed for the 50,000 plus crowd. Back you go. Would have been a time when I missed David Beckham. Christ. And Mesa is back where he belongs. Owen. Scholes. Cole. Oh, that's a cracking pass by Carbone. to Kareka. The rest is dealing with the danger of Henrik Larsson. York. Some activity from the crowd in the main stand. They might be getting a glimpse of some significant changes that are about to be made very shortly. And
going to be a mass substitution.
there's going to be a mass replacement. Larson, first of all, comes off, and that's a great effort for him to come here after his work with Sweden.
And the rest of the
world en masse depart now, because Manchester United are now going to take on 11 fresh faces, famous faces, from Manchester United's recent past. Olmaker will get a standing ovation, I'm sure. George Weah has certainly come here to show off his wares and has been conspicuous and pays his respect to Sir Alex Ferguson, and he's really enjoyed the frenetic French goalkeeper Pascal Olmaker. Hitzfeld also saying his thanks to the foreign stars. And Paul Gascoigne very reluctantly being told he's got to go off.
That's all 11 points.
So you've seen the departures. Now stand by for the entrance in one or two cases of re-entrance. We'll call this side Fergie's Boys.
Number 1, Peter Schmeichel.
Peter Schmeichel.
Number 2, Paul Parker.
He'll come back on again. The essence of the selection here, the squad of players that helped Manchester United to the double in 94, Paul Parker, Clayton Blackmore, Steve Bruce, now the manager of Huddersfield Town, of course, whose side could have gone top of Division 1 at the weekend. And Daisy and Dolly, as they were affectionately known in the dressing room for so many years, are reunited. Bruce and Pallister, Darren Ferguson. So when I say Fergie's Boys, that's quite literally the case. Three sons, Darren Ferguson, who's now playing for Wrexham, and from North Wales, the Wales manager, Mark Hughes, Lee Sharp, who's only just got his fitness back. He's with Bradford City these days, and he may well play in the Worthington Cup later this week. And although David Beckham is not fully fit, he is going to take part tonight, and few would begrudge him that. Of the last club to beat Manchester United in the league here. And Eric Cantona. Nice touch, George.
Wonderful. Some talent out there in there. How much is that worth?
Well, it'll bring a nostalgic tear to many a Manchester United eye. The boys are back together.
Bill Neville.
Michael Clegg and Jonathan Greening on for Manchester United. citizens in dark blue will enjoy having a goal advantage. Robson to Cantona, to Mark Hughes. You feel like you're in a time warp suddenly at Old Trafford. Cantona. Beckham moving pretty well, it must be said. Maybe not quite the same for Eric, but who cares? Just great to see him again. Here's York. Now Greening. But really the majority in the stadium wanting to see now the former Manchester United players really turn it on. With a bit of sorting out to do. Nicky Butt plays it in and Steve Bruce reads it just like he always used to. Incidentally recently announced his retirement from playing at a serious level. Cantona. Here's Paul Parker. Played for London in the World Cup of 1990. We shouldn't forget international time as well. Yes! That is the moment of the night. Wow! The old warrior does it again at Old Trafford. George.
Absolutely brilliant. Not his dodgy foot, isn't it? That's absolute magic. I mean, they're so used to at Old Trafford seeing him knock them in. I mean, they love him here. And that's different class. Bit special.
Well, he's moving into management. Still, of course, a player at Southampton. Greening. One from the Mark Hughes catalogue of great goals. Always in his time under Alex Ferguson, who brought him back here from Barcelona, Mark Hughes. Always a player who could be relied on the truly big stage. Cantona. Out by Irwin. So we'll score this Manchester United won the World 11-3. Michael Clay to Greening. Blackmore, who's still in regular league action. He's with Notts County now, having left Middlesbrough last season for a short spell with Barnsley. Beckham. He's given offside. And the crowd still buzzing in reaction to Mark Hughes' wonderful goal. Cole to stop the Dwight York getting in the first place. Beckham. Cantona. Beckham wants it. He's not the only one. Lee Sharp coming in. And here's Mark Hughes. Cantona just gets there. Brian Robson coming in. You might have noticed there are 3 number 7s for Alex Ferguson's old boys. Robson, Cantona and Beckham. Scholes. Andy Cole to try and take Steve Bruce. He skipped past it. Schmeichel gets in the way. Just. Not sure how Sir Alex will feel if Manchester United lose this game, George.
I don't think he'll be too bothered about it. It's great to see too many great players, past and present, and it's still a bit of fun tonight. Everyone's just savouring it, and most of these lads will be back to business this week.
There's Pallister. Sharp. Good to see him moving so well after a huge catalogue of injuries. Never quite happened for him at Leeds United, where he was taken by Howard Wilkinson back in 1996. Goal shooting from distance, and Teddy Sheringham going off, one hopes, not with an injury. There are rumours coming up to from down below that tweaked a calf muscle. Now that will make Sir Alex not happy. Blackmore, who scored for Notts County at the weekend. Cantona. Catching out Darren Ferguson. Manchester United playing with 10 men, but they've still got Andy Cole in. Still very, very difficult to get the better of 1 against 1.
Oh, he's a big lad. He spreads himself so well. You've got to be a good player to get past him. I mean, you've got the defence out there with Steve Bruce and Pallister when they were playing together. If you got past them, then you had to beat Schmeichel. It wasn't very easy, to say the least.
Well, my memory tells me you always scored when you got through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. What was your preferred method?
Make him dive first, and then walk it past him.
Sounds so simple. Bruce and Beckham. Cantona. The roars forming in 50,000 throats around Old Trafford. Raymond van der Houw stepped in to diffuse the situation. 10 minutes left on a very special night for football's latest night, Sir Alex Ferguson. Will be involved in the next Sunday Premiership match, Middlesbrough against West Ham. Mark Hughes gave us a truly glorious moment tonight. Well, not too many opponents get that sort of reaction from the Manchester United manager. Technically an opponent tonight, Mark Hughes. But here's Beckham. Hughes. Cantona might have lost a little bit of speed, but the positional craft still there. And it comes off courtesy to Beckham. control by Scholes, who was a substitute not used by England. A bit of a persistent groin problem. Kevin Keegan recognising that. Clegg. Scholes. Having seen what Almeida did, Peter Schmeichel. He did score once for Manchester United against Rotor Volgograd in a European game. Mark Hughes again. And Schmeichel saying, well, hang on a minute, what about the pass to the man lurking on the right? Steve Bruce is in charge of the left-hand goal at the moment. Schmeichel, unlike Almeida, is making absolutely no effort to get back. I don't know if you trust his outfield players. If they don't protect his goal, there will be all sorts of comments flying around. 7 minutes to go. And Manchester United have a very good opportunity to score here. Because pleasantries are being exchanged between Peter Schmeichel and Dwight York. They haven't taken that opportunity to score, and Schmeichel saying, well, feed it into me up front. And Sylvester not quite on the wavelength with the crowd and with the opposing goalkeeper. Screening. Bruce again at the last line of defence. Still can't work it in, so Peter Schmeichel has made it back into his own penalty area this time. Cantona. No flag. David Beckham getting the better of Dwight York, not the better of Van der Haar. Sharp. Hughes, he's got another one! Great fun now, George.
It's brilliant. Sparky's different class. And come on, somebody played 15 minutes and get a hat-trick here. Smashed the last one in with his left, and the old right foot has done business again. I mean, over the years, he's been one of the best target men in the world. Does it week in, week out. Terrific stuff.
Not quite sure what Alex Ferguson would have made of Dwight York's attempted challenge on David Beckham if he'd brought Beckham down there. Beckham's, I say, state of fitness somewhat questionable. That's what England think. No sign of the damaged hamstring, though, in this little cameo appearance, but of course it's not the real thing in this game. But the organisers of this night, I think, really got it right with the change of emphasis for the last 25 minutes or so, bringing on the former Manchester United squad to play against the present crop. And no one has enjoyed that switch more than Mark Hughes. But Brian Robson has a problem. Cantona. Pallister deciding if he can venture forward. Looking for Cantona. I think that's what the crowd want now, most of all, a Cantona goal to seal the evening. Cole. Demanding the clearance from Schmeichel. Lay off by Pallister. Well, Sylvester is still in the proving stage at Old Trafford. You can perhaps not blame him for the serious piece of involvement. He's concentrated on his own game. Being distracted by some of the other entertainment. York to Scholes! Manchester United get one back. Paul Scholes puts his trademark on the evening. And it's Manchester United 2, the opposition 4. Maybe 5, because here's Beckham. Goalkeeper and the post, thwarting him. Blackmore, Hughes, Beckham. And the hit by Brian Robson. 2 minutes left. Greening. Cole. Bruce was showing him down the left side onto Cole's weaker left foot. By Hughes, who's not easing up, and Cantona. And Robson. Well, it's a great shame that the legs eventually start to go, because these players have football in their hearts, and hope they can keep coming back in adorning nights such as these. The great men of Manchester United's relatively recent past. Never lose the touch, and it's been a magic touch tonight in honour of Sir Alex Ferguson, a man who's worked himself up from humble origins to the very top. And top names in football have come here to pay their respects. And Mark Hughes made a marvellous impact late on. The presence of Eric Cantona really guaranteed the gate, the full house.
Absolutely brilliant. Full house, a lot of money going to charity, worthwhile, and I think everyone's enjoyed it. We've seen 6 goals, a couple of specials from Hughes, especially the first one, some great touches. I said earlier, some great players on the show, and it just shows the respect I have for this man.
Well, the crowning glory of many a career would be the treble that Manchester United won so wonderfully last season, but Sir Alex Ferguson's ambition, he won't accept it as that. Just another chapter, another step along the way, because the whole secret of the man is that he wants more. He's never satisfied, and now he's going to express his thanks to the Old Trafford crowd and to all of you at home.
My fans, to prove you're the best in the world. I hope you've enjoyed the night. It's been a marvellous occasion for me and the players tonight. I'd also like to thank the players who have travelled from all over Europe to play tonight. I think we deserve applause. I'd also like to thank Manchester United for putting us on tonight, and also to my family, my wife in particular. She's sitting up there. I owe her everything. And most importantly, tonight, it tells you how much pleasure I've had in Manchester United in the 13 years when you see the collection of great players I've had the privilege to manage tonight. I'm a very lucky manager to be able to see such a collection here tonight. Truly great players and quite literally legends of this club forevermore. Thank you, boys. Well done. Just one last word. Have a safe journey home. Well done.
Well, he is a most single-minded man.
One more time, Sir Alex Ferguson!
That explosive side to his nature that most of us in the media have experienced at one time or another. It's part of his makeup that has produced this phenomenally successful manager, where he has an unwavering sense of purpose that has set him above not only his peers, but the vast majority of other football managers of all time. We're reaching a time in history, George, when we look back on a century, and sparing your blushes, you'll be on everyone's list of great players of the 20th century. This man could top the list of great managers.
Yes, again, you know, we talk about Schmeichel, and when you're talking about lists of great players, and this man will go down as a great manager. He really is a great manager. And people are talking about him as one of the all-time greats. You know, when you talk about managers like Jock Stein and Bill Shankly and Bill Nicholson and Sir Matt, this man's up there. That's why, I said that's why he's got a knighthood.
He won the League Championship in Scotland as well as in England. That's a unique achievement. But let's just spell it out for you again. 5 league titles for Manchester United, something that United significantly failed to capture in the 70s or the 80s. 4 FA Cups, 1 League Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup, the first European success for an English club since the ban after Heysel. 3 English doubles, domestic doubles in the 90s, and less than 5 months ago, against very, very long odds, the treble chance came up for Manchester United and for their inspirational manager. A true winner, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Well, that was a very special night, even by the standards of the Theatre of Dreams. And plenty more coming.